here it will. गिर गया हो. Yes. Recording? Yeah. And volume is also, they can hear. Everybody can hear?
Yes.
Yes. Not you all. Online. Yes. Online, I'm asking. Everybody can hear? Yes.
Yes, Swaminiyama.
Wonderful. Excellent. Now mute yourselves because we will start again. Om Sahana Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you. That's perfect. Arjuna's predicament. We say, and this is something we know because we have studied this. Arjuna's predicament is what? Oh, he has to fight his own people, and his own people are standing against him. How terrible! His own relatives, his own people. And he goes on and on. He describes his predicament. We see the first recorded panic attack in history. All the signs of panic attack are there. He suddenly feels feverish. Tvakcha paridahyate, feels feverish. I don't know what to do. Confused, disoriented. Symptom number 2. What else? Na shaknomi avasthatum bhramati iva me manaha. My mind is going round and round in the same thoughts and all over the place. I cannot stop it. I am completely at a loss. Not only that, I have started to see various kinds of omens, bad omens. Some crows were cawing at the start, just before the Kurukshetra war. That's an everyday incident in India. It's not seen as a bad omen or even an omen. Only when the mind is vulnerable, then these things become laden with all kinds of terrible predictions, prophecies. And then he says, I just don't know. I just feel very constricted, lost. In those days, the paper bag had not yet been invented. Had it been invented, Lord Krishna would have said, just breathe into the paper bag, the panic attack will go. And then what? Alas, no panic attack, no Bhagavad Gita for the rest of us. Because that is what it is. It tells us something. When all the options have been used up, then only Vedanta speaks. Even if there is a slight option, a slight hope, a slight little thing that can transform me, it is there. No. Let me wait it out. Let me want something. Let me have this. Here, Arjuna has exhausted all his options. In fact, he himself is mentally, physically spent, exhausted. Then he goes on and on about the difficulties of the war. We know all this, which is in the first chapter. The war is going to make the imbalance between the genders, and it's going to be difficult. It's going to leave us open for encroachment and invasion, foreign invasions. And a very prophetic statement, actually. And he says the war is going to make us weak and open to all kinds of difficulties. And then the war actually is very scarring. And then the children who will be left fatherless as a result will never overcome the pain and the sorrow of this war. He says all these things. But what is the nature and the extent of the Dharma Sankata is talked about only in chapter 3. In chapter 3, we get the fuller hint of the what is this conflict, what is this pain he is undergoing. The pain he is undergoing is not that he is put in a position to fight his own people. That is part of the pain. But there is a greater and a more invisible pain of feeling let down by everybody he relied on. It is indeed a crisis of leadership. Dhritarashtra, in whose lap he played, who regarded him as his own, on whose side he is, his own sons. Arjuna is a castaway. Dhritarashtra, blind in the life, but symbolically also blinded to what is dharma. Look at all the people who joined adharma. Blinded. Then what? Uncle, Shakuni. Mother's brother, Mama. Mama had, Mama, double M-A, okay? Yeah, in manipulation. How to manipulate people, how to set people against one another. He was a master manipulator of people's emotions and everything. Relying on him, Arjuna was facing his own ruin. He was the one who kept calling him for the game of dice. And then, who else was there? Bhishma, Pitamaha. Pitamaha means the grand sire of this whole, the whole thing. He should be setting an example what is right. But what is he doing? Going on the other side. That's what happens when there is, when one becomes very rigid. That's what Bhishma was, very rigid. He forgot the people and he said, oh, I have to protect the throne. How are you going to protect an empty throne? What of the, only when the throne is populated by a person who is able to rule, then you protect. You don't protect the throne. You protect the person on the throne. He forgot that. For him, it was all about the institution, the throne, and he just, everybody spat out Arjuna, gave him up. He was just bereft. And last but not the least, Drona. Dronacharya, his teacher, he was the pet student, he was the top student. The one who even sacrificed Ekalavya's prowess so that Arjuna would not be eclipsed in any way. The one who went to great lengths to have adharma in order to protect his dear disciple. What did he do? He went and joined the ranks of the people who were clearly in the wrong. Clearly in the wrong. And therefore, it's not that he's fearing the battle. He has fought many battles. This battle was also child's play for Arjuna. This was nothing big at all. No problem, he could have fought this battle as well. What distinguished this battle from other battles Number one, it was his own people. Number two, if all of them are standing on the other side, naturally the thought comes, maybe I am wrong. Because all the people I respect are standing against me. That is why he chooses Lord Krishna's support. He says, you be with me. I'm not a fighter. I'm not going to take up arms. And I'm not going to fight. Would you not rather have the Yadava army where only one Yadava can kill another Yadava? Even in Indian politics, yes. No one can destroy a Yadava. Won't you rather have the Yadava army? No. I would rather have a non-fighting you. This gives us a clue where to rely on, whom to rely on in times of crisis. Lord Krishna is not his first choice. He's his final choice. He says, everybody has given me up. Are you also going to give me up? No, I am with you. Therefore, you can't just hang around somebody in the battle. It's dangerous. So he says, okay, I'll just drive the chariot. And having chosen him, he went with folded arms and said, please come. Please be with me. And Krishna says, yes, yes, I'll be there. And he comes. And the ahankara is so much, he forgets himself. Senayor ubhayor madhye ratham sthapaya me. He Achyuta. He Achyuta is a very informal way of talking to somebody who you have made your lifeline. Hey Achyuta is like saying, James, park the car here. Car here is Ratha, chariot. Park the chariot in between the two armies so that I can see who dares to fight with me. Kair maya saha yodhavyam. Let me see who dares to fight against me. Yodhyamana nirikshyeham. Let me inspect the battlefield and all these people, these no good people. Let me scare them away with my look so that they just take one look and they are gone, frightened. And roadside riffraff, which Duryodhana, that's how he collected the army. He said, I'll take away your baby. Please don't. Okay, come and fight. I'll take away your lands. Oh, no. How will we survive? Come and fight. They just became fodder for the cannonball and all these other shastras and astras. They were just collected from the road. You should see Pujya Swamiji's rendition. You should hear of the Mahabharata. He would say, at this point, he would say they did not even know how to wear the uniform. They would all button themselves wrongly. Up and down, because they were just farmers. He just got them from the fields, no training, no military, nothing. He just scared them and threatened to snatch away their families, their lands, and their livelihoods. And then because of the fear of him, or cut off their heads, because of the fear, they came. This is the kind of army Duryodhana has assembled. I will make short shrift of them. This is going to be the shortest battle in history. I'll kick them off the battlefield. Before you can say Kurukshetra, they are all gone. That was his feeling. And then what? That's why we have Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is up to some tricks all the time. He puts the chariot between the two armies, all right, but takes it to a place where all the elders are standing. He's face to face with the failed leadership in his life. Bhishma, Drona, Sarvesham Mahikshita. Partha, hey Partha. Uvacha, Bhagavan Uvacha, but Uvacha third person because Sanjaya is narrating this. Pashya, hey Partha, Pashya, etan kurun. Pashya, look at all these people. This is what you wanted to see. Look at all the people from the Kuru family who are standing against you. That is the cause of Arjuna's despondency. Arjuna's despondency is not coming only because he has to fight his own people, and the battle is going to be a gory battle. It goes deeper than that. The wound is deeper than that. How come my own people who I looked up to, are standing against me? That's the unkindest cut. These people were supposed to be clapping for me. Suppose they can't fight, let's say. They should be sitting in the audience and clapping for me. They should be supporting me. They should be saying, this is wonderful. We are very happy for you. You're going to fight this war. We are with you. What do you need? Horses, soldiers, weaponry, land, cows. What do you need? You please tell. This is what would have been ideal. We are with you. Yes, there may be times when in childhood we may not have got along, we have fought, but after all, we are cousins and brothers. We are on the same side. All his cousins should have said that. And what about his elders? They also have no buddhi. They should have also said this. Drona should have said, I taught you all this for today itself. Let's do this. I am with you. And then finally, Bhishma should have said, let us not have this war. He did say that, but nobody listened to him. Let us not have this war. Let us not do this. In fact, Krishna himself went as the mediator. Krishna is who? Not Mr. Krishna. Vyasa presents him as Bhagavan Krishna. Arjuna Uvacha. And then what? Sanjaya Uvacha. Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Krishna Uvacha. No. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Sri Bhagavan. Shriya Yukta Bhagavan. One endowed with Shri. He doesn't present him as an ordinary person. It is Bhagavan. And so the battle should not have been there. If Bhagavan is the mediator, how can the battle be there? Anybody can ask this question. Battle can be there. It was there because the free will is what? Is the manifestation of Ishvara, is it not? The free will that I enjoy is the manifestation of Ishvara, and then Ishvara cannot go against Ishvara. Free will is Ishvara. My free will is Ishvara. Your free will is Ishvara. Her free will is Ishvara. Their free will is Ishvara. His free will is Ishvara. And then what? Duryodhana's free will is also what? Ishvara. It's also Ishvara. It's not that only the dharmic people will have free will and the other people will not. In fact, it's the opposite. The more dharmic you are, the less you use the free will, and the more adharmic one is, the more they will use the free will. So it's not that Krishna is powerless to ward off the war, but Krishna is standing against himself here. He negotiates. Like nobody can negotiate, he negotiates. What do you want in return? Arjuna's head is the answer. Duryodhana talks like this. No, that we know you want, but other than that, what you want? Yudhishthira's head. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not talk heads. But let's just talk about land. You want the kingdom. You have a kingdom. It was already divided. Hastinapura was already divided. You're already ruling a kingdom. I want the other one. Okay, you can have the other one. These people are not going to contest. Give them 5 principalities so that they can live happily. No. Give them one principality with 5 villages. No. Give them 1 village with 5 houses. No. Then what's the next point of negotiation? Give them 1 house with 5 rooms. No. Give them 1 room with 5 corners, pentagon. Okay. 1 room with 5 corners, they leave you alone. These people, this is what is called negotiation. They were ready to negotiate. They said, we don't want the bloodshed, we don't want the gore, we don't want all these things. We don't want the battle to be gory, and we don't want glory, we don't want anything. He himself says, Arjuna says, the kakshye vijayam Krishna, the rajyam, bhoga. Nothing. I don't want wealth, I don't want kingdom. I want to live peaceably with the other party. That's all I want. Just give them 1 house with 5 rooms. Come on, you can do that. He says, now I know. You'll say, give one house with 1 room with 5 corners. Okay, now you'll say, give 1 corner. No. Let me make myself clear. How does he make himself clear? He said, I will not even give. And as much space is occupied by the tip of a pin, which is what? No space. You will not give anything. That's my negotiation. What are you going to do? I'm also negotiating. No, but we are in mediation. This is my mediation. This is my immediate need. That's how I'm in mediation. Because I only see what is immediately obvious to me, and what is immediately obvious to me is that you all should go away and then start what? Pumping iron for the battlefield. Because meet me in Kurukshetra. That is what I want. Even Lord Krishna is helpless because in the face of adharma. Oh, but isn't his job to fight adharma? Yes, takes time. The free will has to have its say for a bit. And then that's why the battle, and there was no way Duryodhana could have won the battle. Lord Krishna made sure of it with a few tricks. Remember how Duryodhana had wanted to start the war and went to who? The best astrologer. Who? The brother from the other side. He said, and he gave him the time. This is called horary astrology because it all deals with timings and events and everything. So he took the time and he said, this is the time we are going to wage the war. Lord Krishna says, not so fast. Not even that. He just, sankalpa. Oh, suddenly it's night. How can it be night? Night, we cannot wage the war. It's night. How can it be night? It's only 4 o'clock or whatever Duryodhana tries to say. It's just a sleight of hand. Lord Krishna manifests an eclipse. And then everybody thinks, okay, can't wage the war. And then after that, suddenly the sun shines. And these are the people. The Pandavas are the people who fight, who are the ones who wage the war at their time. That's how they win. He makes sure. He makes Yudhishthira tell an untruth to stave the enemy off. All these things he does. Ashwathama hataha. Ashwathama has been killed. And Yudhishthira says, no, I want to dot the I's and cross the T's. I want to say Narova, Kunjarova, meaning we don't know if it is the human being called Ashwathama, in which the Dronacharya's heart lived inside Ashwathama. or it was an elephant, I don't know. Actually, the elephant had died, but he wanted to say the whole thing. Lord Krishna made the megaphone not work. So that the only thing that was heard was Ashwatthama is being killed. And Duryodhana, who was a raging maniac in terms of the battlefield, suddenly found himself as though the bellows, like a pair of bellows without air. The air, his prana was sucked out. This way, he did make sure Dharma wins. But it takes time. So, what does Lord Krishna offer here? Lord Krishna offers a leadership which Arjuna wanted. That is why Lord Krishna is very dear. It is said, for the one who has no one, Lord Krishna definitely comes to the rescue. Like Arjuna had nobody literally on his side, no elder, no role model, nobody. Just a few other kings, but that was not somebody he could really trust and look up to. Nobody was there. Then he was completely alone, and Lord Krishna comes to the aid. In the same Mahabharata, Lord Krishna comes to the aid of Draupadi, who was similarly alone. Mistakenly, wrongly, she was sold off, pawned off in a game of dice. This is what addiction does. Doesn't make you think clearly. In a game of dice, she was pawned off, totally pawned off. Although the Dharma Shastra says the wife, children are not property. In fact, we were far, far ahead of Victorian England, where children and wife were considered property of the man. Here, not at all. They were not considered property ever. But the attitude was wrong. He said, here, take Draupadi, another game, make me win. But the dice was loaded, thanks to Shakuni. He had interfered with the dice so that all the time they would get zero and these people would just go away with all the spoils. And the 5 husbands were sitting there when she was being disrobed. Who does she call out to? Krishna. And so Krishna here, this Anathanatha, for the ones who don't have anybody to look up to, he becomes the quote-unquote savior, he becomes the leader, he becomes the one that helps. And we see so many miracles in his life, saving the people from the rain, having the hill, Govardhana hill, and making short shrift of that snake, sucking the life force out of Putana, who was killing children everywhere. All these things. We see that people felt better when he was around because he was helping the people. We can stop here. And Krishna becomes what should I say, a bookmark for somebody who doesn't have anybody. And I can open to that page and invoke Bhagavan. Whenever I am sad, whenever I am upset, whenever I'm all alone, when I don't have direction, when I do not have guidance, when I lack guidance, when I'm alienated, Lord Krishna to the rescue. Right or wrong? Absolutely right. We can do that. But Lord Krishna expects a little more from Arjuna. Why? Because Arjuna doesn't say, please help me. Doesn't only say, please help me. He says, Shishyah te aham shadhi, not shadi, okay? Shadhi. Teach me, he says. Teach me. There's a difference. Lord Krishna will not go around teaching everybody who has not asked for this knowledge. The Gita Acharya will what? Will only teach the people the Bhagavad Gita who ask for this knowledge. If you don't ask for this knowledge, nothing is going to be taught. Oh, I want you in my life. Yes, yes, I'm here. Save me. Okay. Do some miracle. Okay. Sometimes okay, sometimes I can't. The other person is terrible. Yes. Other person is a model Duryodhana or a whole set of them. So, what more can Lord Krishna do? That is described here very, very well. Beautiful teaching. And we are going to chant these verses and look at their purport. So we are looking at chapter 3, Karma Yoga, chapter 3. We start with verse 20. कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम् आस्तिथा जनकादयः लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि यद्यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः तदेवेतरो जनः स यत्प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तदनुवर्तते न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यम् त्रिषु लोकेषु किञ्चन नानवाप्तमवाप्तव्यम् वर्त एव च कर्मणि यदि ह्यहं न वर्तेयम् जातु कर्मण्यतन्द्रितः मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः उत्सीदेयुरिमे लोकाः न कुर्यां कर्म ते चेदहम् शङ्करस्य च कर्ता स्याम् उपहन्यामि माः प्रजाः सक्ताः कर्मण्य विद्वांसः यथा कुर्वन्ति भारत कुर्याद् विद्वांस्तथा सक्तः चिकीर्षु लोकसङ्ग्रहम् न बुद्धिभेदं जनयेत् ज्ञानां कर्म जोषयेत् सर्वकर्माणि विद्वान् युक्तः समाचरन् Yeah, beautiful section. Here, the Arjuna is being asked to see that to see a very plain fact. Okay, you wanted to be saved, quote unquote, saved. And then I have done that. I need not have come and driven your chariot. I am doing that. I need not have taught you all these things. I am doing that. I'm helping you. And I am a guide that you wanted. I am the counselor you wanted. I am the leader that you can look up to. But I expect more of you in the light of whatever has gone in chapter 2, which we will be seeing. I expect more of you. What do you expect? The leader that you want to see is the leader that you need to be. That is what I expect of you. Be the leader you want to see. So if you are the leader that you want to see, then that lack centered around the fact or around the feeling that I am not, nobody is there for me, that has to go away. If that doesn't go away, the leadership will not come. And that feeling of lack is what has to be addressed. The insecurity centered on the I, the helplessness centered on the I, the pain, the sorrow, the loneliness centered on the I, the self-loaths, the self-judgment centered on the I. Even though we'd like to say it's their fault, I'm like this. We can point the fingers. Mother, father, long gone. We have no point in blaming them. Why? Not because it's I need not blame them, but I have already finished blaming them. Okay, now I'm looking for, scouting for new prey, not P-R-A-Y, P-R-E-Y. Looking for new people to prey upon. It's these people's fault. It's those people's fault. If only the situation was like this. If only these people had not done this. I was about to get this, and then this idiot came and all my chances were gone. Why are people like this? It is always somebody's fault. This one did not do this, that one did not do this. So there is one problem here. Another problem of the savior psychology is that not only am I not my own advocate, I also do not know how to take responsibility for my own self. I neither take responsibility for my actions, nor do I take responsibility for my result of actions. This is why the two teachings, the twofold teachings of the Bhagavad Gita go hand in hand. What is the first teaching? Karma Yoga. That is the first teaching. How to become a decent human being. That is Karma Yoga. We learn how to live in the world without hurting myself and targeting my anger at others. My anger, my pain, my sorrow, I don't implode, I don't explode either. And so this is the main thing. Karma Yoga is a way of life that is in keeping with the Vedic vision. And what is the vision? It's a vision of no division, and it's a vision of oneness, to understand which there has to be some inner preparation, not outer preparation. It's all, Vedanta is an inside job. I have to look at all the axes left to grind. I have to look at all my pain, all my sorrow. I have to be able to see that no matter who I try to blame, the sorrow, the pain is centered on me. You spot it, you got it. This is Vedanta. But it is not convenient. What is this? Very inconvenient. It's an inconvenient truth that I have to face. That what I have to address is me. Why? Because nobody wants to look bad. Nobody wants to believe that I am the problem. No, but I'm telling you, you are the solution. Doesn't matter. But before that, you are telling me I have to see myself as the problem. I don't want to see myself as the problem. It's always somebody else's problem. The finger is moving everywhere. It must be this one. It must be that one. I knew they were upset. I knew they were jealous of me. I knew they will not let me have this. I knew this. If these people were not there, my life would be better. How many people can we, take out in our minds like this? And so there has to be a U-turn. Normally, here is where we lose audiences because that's why I save it till the end. Yeah. There is an attrition. I have to, it's all my problem. I have to do this. I don't want to be blamed. Why? Because the whole world is blaming me. 8 billion people in the world. I am pointing fingers at other people. Correct. What you said is correct. But why are you only looking at me? Look at all the other people's pointing their fingers at me. And now I come to you to study Vedanta, and you are also hitting a person when they're already low. How low can you go? What are you doing? How can you do this to me? You have to uplift me. You have to make me feel better. And here I put all my trust in you, and then I'm coming to listen after so long, that too. And then what are you telling me? Look at yourself. I don't want you to be a mirror. I have that at home. Yeah. I'm sick of looking at myself. I don't like what I see. That's why I came to you, thinking you'll all make it nice, and make it better and smooth everything out. And then we'll all go home on an upbeat feeling. Now I'm not feeling upbeat. I'm feeling beat up. Yeah. Small difference. Small difference in the lingo, but big difference. Upbeat and beat up, opposite. I didn't come here to get beat up. And now you're telling me, this is Vedanta, and you have to look at yourself, what about all the other people? What about, well, in my defense, I'm telling everybody to look at them. No, we are not talking of the choir. You are preaching to the choir. What about the people in the outside of this room? They need to look at themselves. Yes, I agree. Then why aren't you telling them? Because they're not here. Bring them, I will tell them. No problem. Why aren't they here? Because they are incapable of understanding what comes to you so easily. That is why. They are incapable of understanding this. They are not equipped. We can add a yet there. They're not yet equipped. You are more emotionally mature, more available emotionally, mentally, more clear in terms of your priorities, more determined and dedicated and committed to change the status quo. That is why I'm talking to you. That is why Lord Krishna is talking to Arjuna, not to Duryodhana. He doesn't say, Duryodhana, I'm teaching Vedanta, you also come and listen. It would have been of no use. Duryodhana has built-in noise-cancelling headphones crafted by his own raga and dvesha. What is the noise? Bhagavad Gita is the noise for him. Such people are not interested. We only speak to the people who are able to transform themselves. We are not interested in transforming the whole world. Not that we haven't tried. Even Pujya Swamiji said, first he said, I wanted to. I got into Vedanta and then I was so happy. I just kept on giving pravachan after pravachan, discourse after discourse, and I wanted to transform people. How wonderful this is. And then he said, I soon realized only thing I can transform is myself. I was transformed in the process of transforming everybody. This is what it is. And this the opportunity for self-transformation is what exactly we are at the cusp of. This is where Arjuna was standing at the opportunity of self-transformation. So the first chapter is his therapy, Arjuna's therapy. That's why Lord Krishna doesn't say a word. From him we know how to listen. Listens without talking anything. Then the second chapter is the vision of oneness. The vision of oneness, we'll be seeing that a lot. And then the third chapter is Lord Krishna washing his hands gently of making Arjuna dependent on him. Very beautiful. So these verses which we are looking at, we are going to look at, we should talk about the context. The context he is told is, Arjuna is told, this is the context, told to do his actions. Whatever he is supposed to do, he has to do. What is he supposed to do? Fight. He doesn't want to do that. Instead, he says, I want to do what I'm not allowed to do. What is he not allowed to do? Take sannyasa. I want sannyasa. Why? When the going gets tough, the tough get going. This was his out, his ticket out. Sannyasis don't fight. Nobody can tell a sannyasi, please come and fight on my behalf. Nobody will dare to do that. Sannyasis will not fight. And then secondly, sannyasis not only will not fight, they have no duties. Thirdly, if Arjuna ran away from the war, it would have been a crime. Even now, it's a crime, desertion. If you're signed up for the military, you can't just suddenly leave because you felt like it. You can't do that. You have to have an honorable discharge. This would have been a dishonorable flight. But if he took sannyasa, they would say, oh, how nice, you took sannyasa. In his mind. In his mind, he just thought, from Kurukshetra to Haridwar, not very far. I can walk, maybe it will take 4-5 days, but I can go there, sit under a tree. I'll grow a beard so that nobody recognizes me. I'll sit there and just, have a bowl. People will give bhiksha. He's lost in this reverie. Lord Krishna wakes him up with the series of inconvenient truths. Snap out of this, Arjuna. You think your taking sannyasa is going to make you worship worthy? Not at all. People will come. First, they will just see a bearded sadhu, and then they are about to drop some money or some food in your bowl, and then they will change their mind because they say, oh, this looks like Arjuna. You idiot. You know what happened? Because you ran away, Duryodhana won. And we are all under tyranny. We are continuing to be under tyranny. Avachya vadamshcha bahu. Lord Krishna says, they will use all kinds of 4-letter words which I am not allowed to use. Avachya. I cannot even speak of it. Vadishyanti tavahitaha. All your ill wishers, not well wishers, will wish all kind of ill things on you. Nindantah tava samarthyam. And berating your incompetence, they will say, how could you do this? How could you do this to us? You dropped the ball. We were looking up to you. And you did not even throw us a glance of compassion. Did not even say, I will help you out. We were looking up to you. You were our leader. We were looking up to you. And just because you had some access to grind, you had some fears, you felt deserted. You deserted us. Tato dukkatarannu kim. Says, what else is worse than fighting your own people is the few people that you call your own. What are they? They are all completely, totally not your own now. Even the few people that were fighting on your side have bid goodbye and have gone. They have gone. And he says, therefore, stop these dreams of sannyasa. These dreams of sannyasa are not for you. Why? Not because there is a war to fight. It's not the reason. Because you are not ready. That is why. Even if there were a war to fight and you were ready, you could have dropped everything and go. But I don't see you having the maturity, the emotional maturity to give up everything and lead this life. You do not have what it takes to live this lifestyle. It is not the pursuit of knowledge that is in question. That you can do in any kind of clothes. You don't have to become a sannyasi to pursue Vedanta knowledge. You don't have to become a sannyasi to gain this knowledge and to be, quote unquote, an enlightened person. You can be a sadhu. Even while being a householder, you can lead a sadhu-like life. And neither does it guarantee that if you take on the orange, you will get this knowledge. Does it? So, you are doing a great disservice because you have messed up in your head the means and the end. What is the end? Self-knowledge. And what are the means? What is the means for self-knowledge? Hello. Vedanta knowledge. Okay. But in Arjuna's mind, the means are sannyasa. Sannyasa is the means. Sannyasa is the sadhana for Atma Jnanam, Brahma Jnanam. This is the notion he is totally disabused of. He is told the two have nothing to do with one another. One is a lifestyle, the other one is what? Is a committed pursuit. Regardless of the lifestyle, the pursuit is what you need. Knowledge frees. Therefore, you pursue knowledge. Don't then, in Arjuna's mind, knowledge frees. Yes, karma binds. Therefore, I'm going to become a sannyasi. What kind of a therefore it is? It's a funny therefore. It's a therefore that is not at all logical. It's like saying it's a sunny day and therefore there is an elephant standing outside. What's the connection? This is that kind of a therefore. Absolutely no connection. Illogical therefore. So this is not something to do. And you are going to leave all these people. See, leave all these people behind and all he's saying because he's not ready for the knowledge. There is a similar story in Ramana Maharshi's life. One man came and said, my daughter is married, son is married, they are earning, everybody is settled and married. And my wife is also okay. I have settled her as well. And now I am retired. Hey Bhagavan, shall I take sannyasa? Can you please give me permission to take sannyasa? Ramana Maharshi, who hardly talked, immediately said, absolutely not. No. This man got angry. He had already purchased some orange dhotis. He said, what? What did you do? You went to the temple and you cut off your tuft of hair and you threw off all your clothes in the water and you cut off your sacred thread. All these are done before the sannyasa rites. This is all part of that. And you were just going to go like that into the world. But the temple priest gave you a white dhoti to wear, and that's what you're wearing now. You took sannyasa. Who are you to stop me? And Ramana Maharshi patiently said, yes, my dear sir, whatever you tell me, I have done, yes. But I did not take anybody's permission. I did not ask for anybody's permission. This is the thing. And so, sannyasa means what? A certain readiness should be there, an emotional readiness. And Arjuna does not have the emotional readiness because he is still looking for Lord Krishna as the leader, wanting to be comforted, wanting to be hugged, wanting to be embraced. Somebody has to come and tell him, don't fight, it's okay, I'll make it all okay. Wanting to not go through that difficulty. But difficulty has presented itself. No, I want to step aside. I want something to change. It's not going to change. Why? Because of the abuse of the free will of the person in front of you. They are abusing their free will. They are causing adharmic acts. And then what else? Your own prarabdha coming in the way. Your own karma. It's not only your karma, it's not only their free will problem, it is a deadly combination of both of them. This is the situation, this is the predicament. So you can't say, I am going to close my eyes and pretend that all the difficulties are gone away when I open it. Can I open? No, it's still there. Difficulties will be there. In fact, a few more would have joined by the time I close and open the eyes. By the time I blink, few more would have joined. What to do now? So, obviously, what I am looking for is myself alone. The problem is me when Vedanta says does not mean I am the problem. That's why it is put differently. Problem is me means the problem is centered on the I. What kind of an I? An I that is not known properly. I have an autobiography that is a sad story. Sad story. Full of sorrow. It's a wet autobiography, drenched in tears. I dry it and then again I cry in it, and then the next day it gets wet, the story. Still, the tears will not wash away the indelible ink of pain, regret, all these things. It will not wash it away. So much the heart is hurt, so much it is hopeless, so much it cannot be extricated out of its pain. That is the time the Upanishad speaks. Why will the Upanishad speak? Because the Upanishad, without being commissioned, has become the writer, the author of my autobiography. How can something else write my autobiography? How does it know my story? It doesn't need to know your story. You keep your story with you. It tells you who you are, which is exactly in keeping with who you really want to be. Who do you want to be? Much better than what I am now. Who do you want to be? Happy. Who do you want to be? Rich. Who do you want to be? Prosperous, abundant. Who do you want to be? famous. Who do you want to be? Happy without any problems. And what does the Upanishad says? You already are all of that. Really, I don't see myself as rich. That's why we still have tomorrow. I don't see myself as happy. I don't see myself as rich. I don't see myself as surrounded by all kinds of things that I want. I don't see myself as free of limitations. What do you mean I'm all of this? That's why we have to see what stops you from seeing yourself as free of all limitations. And the answer is very simple. I don't know myself. No, but I do know myself. I am this many feet and this many inches tall, and these are my problems. I know myself. The self that you know is not the self that you want to be. It's not the self of the Upanishads. The self that you know is what? Is that which you can objectify, see as an object. The self you know is the self that obtains as though in the body. I don't like my body. It is too short, too tall, too fat, too thin, too this, too that. This is the problem. I disapprove of the self, what I think is the self. Body is the self, yes, but self is not the body. Like even pot is clay, clay is not pot. Mind is the self, self is not the mind, self is the limitless Ananda which I am. Ornament is gold, gold is not ornament. Senses are the self because everything is the self. Self, in order for everything to be the self has to be free of everything. And that is really what the teaching is about. The discovery of myself as that which upholds not the people, that's all just gone. That which upholds the entire universe of names and forms. And this is where he wants Arjuna to go, first by understanding what this concept of leadership is, and the practice of leadership in everyday life becomes a sadhana for emotional maturity and preparation for the gain of this knowledge. More we'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Questions we'll do tomorrow.
Abhiram Mama has made some kashayam, so like yesterday, so please have that.